Well, hello. Great morning to all of you and happy Independence Day, especially right now from the Korean capital city of Jakarta. It is so great to have you here today. I'm Audrey Utoyo.
And I'm Narendra Pawaka, and we are proud wearing our Indonesian boutique right here.
Yes.
As you can see, Audrey.
That's true.
What are you wearing? Look at you.
Well, I love this cultural attire. It is from northwestern Borneo, close to west of Kalimantan, and it is from the Dayak Iban people. I love that it is super, I would say, decorative and elaborate. And I do hope that we can continue to learn about all of our cultural attires as you. And I see that you look like a crown prince in your outfit.
Thank you so much. I'm going to take my compliment. This is actually from Riau, Pekanbaru, with a sangkot kuning. So I'm all golden and yellow right here on our 79th Independence Day of Indonesia.
We love that. Yes, so much, that's true. So why don't we begin our report and our show? This is the 79th Independence Day of Indonesia. Well, now let's begin with our show. First of all, we have a truly special guest in the studio. We have a special PhD historian from the University of Indonesia, Dr. Agus Setiawan. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you on this special Independence Day?
I'm fine.
You're fine? Are you feeling the 1945 spirit? It's getting to you?
Yeah, as long as, from Depok to here, this place, some people has, celebrate our Independence Day today.
Yes, we can see Dr. August. Like everybody's running, everybody's jogging, everybody's wearing the, bringing the flag,
red and white,
and all.
That's true.
Yeah. So thank you for being here, Dr. August.
You're welcome. Thank you.
In the next 2 hours, we'll be talking about celebrating the Independence Day of Indonesia.
Yeah.
And we would like to know a little bit about what are your thoughts on this special day in Independence Day, as we are celebrating it in 2 places, in IK and also Jakarta.
Yeah.
Just a simple thought.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, I think independence is a dream for every colonized people.
Yes.
You can imagine when people live under colonial period, and then you can imagine how they later become independent nations.
Yeah.
So it's totally different. This is the very good or very good time to reflect our history from 1945. You're not 1945 generations. No. I'm not in 1945 generations.
Yes.
So we have different feelings with the people who live at that time. Previously, they were colonized people. Then, now they became independent people.
Okay.
And what should we feel during this time? Because I see that the celebrations are all ongoing, and we're all so excited. Should we also instill lots of that values and nationalism that those people felt at that time?
It is also a good time to remember again the struggle of our national heroes, their sacrifice to struggle our independence from colonial period, Japanese occupations until August 17, 1945. So this is, I think, the time to again we not only remember, not only celebrate with traditional games, but also this is a good time to now remember about the sacrifice and also the value of national heroes, and also why we want to become independent nations.
Yes. The sacrifice and the value of the national heroes. Yes, we are celebrating it today. So before we get into that, now Audrey has more about the Indonesian president and also the infrastructure economic If you may, Audrey?
Yes, indeed. Well, I mean, it's quite important to highlight this, especially to know what our current president has a vision for our country, especially because it is also his last year.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, his last
year of service
day ever has been a historic year. And so let's begin our first report on that. President Joko Widodo highlighted his economic, infrastructure, and development successes in his final State of National Address on Friday, delivered months before he stepped down after a decade as the head of Southeast Asia's biggest economy.
President Jokowi highlighted Indonesia's economic record, pointing to a consistent growth rate of 5% despite global economic headwinds.
Pertumbuhan ekonomi kita terjaga di kisaran 5%.
Our economic growth has been consistently above 5% amid many countries that do not post growth and are even slowing down. Regions in eastern Indonesia, such as Papua and Maluku, in fact, have been able to grow above 6%, and North Maluku above 20%. Inflation has also remained in check at around 2 to 3%, as many countries have been experiencing an extraordinarily high inflation rate. Some have even recorded more than 200% inflation rate. On October 20th, 2024, allow me to pass the leadership baton to Prabowo Subianto. Allow me also to share with you the hopes and dreams of all Indonesian people from Sabang to Merauke, from Miangas to the island of Rote, from the peripheries, from the outermost regions, from rural and urban areas to you.
Indonesians celebrate Independence Day on August 17th every year. The date marks the country's liberation from colonial rule in 1945.
Well, we've seen a report on how the current president, Joko Widodo, is strengthening lots of areas and infrastructure and also the economy in order to ensure that after his reign, after this presidential race, that it will continue to flourish. And you know what I'm interested to learn, especially from Dr. Agus this morning, is how do you think the Independence Day will go for the 79th Independence Day of Indonesia, especially as this is President Jokowi's last year of reigning as president? We know that he's been preparing lots of things in IKN, in Nusantara, but how do you think this year will particularly be different compared to the other Independence Day celebrations?
Yeah. First, I think when we try to make a new capital in IKN, we will remember again about Sukarno's probably the aims when he imagined another capital outside Jakarta, because as we know, some countries like Australia, for example, or Brazil try to make a new capital because the infrastructures and also about the populations is densely populated now in Jakarta. So to become more comfortable to run the administrations, probably it is better to make a new capital. But it is very interesting here in Indonesia because we are islands countries.
Yes.
So we have to think about the other parts of Indonesia, how to arrange things. Yeah. But I think it's a good try to make a new capital like President Joko Widodo did in IKN. But in the future, probably we also have to think about the transportations, the infrastructures, how Indonesian people from other parts of Indonesia, especially in remote areas, to come to IKN. Yeah, so I think this is an ongoing process, but it's probably it's a good try.
Yes, Dr. Agus, it is a good try, and thank you for sharing your good views on the future about the infrastructure of IKN, Audrey. And of course, as you mentioned about the Bung Karno's dream to have an Independence Day outside this other city of Jakarta, can you share more as a historian perspective about that? When was that thought coming from Bung Karno about the vision of celebrating the Independence Day outside city other than Jakarta?
Yeah, Indonesia is a big country. And it's not easy actually to unite Indonesians. We have different cultures, we have different ethnic, different religions, different value from all Indonesians people. So, yeah, he consider the more just these locations probably, here in the middle of Indonesia, yeah. I think first of his thing is about Palangkaraya.
Oh, Palangkaraya.
First. Yeah, but probably during the President Jokowi administrations, he probably thought about infrastructures and also the right locations, and also about the many things have to prepare. Before to make a new capital. So let's see how IKN will process to develop in the future.
Yes, of course.
Wow, so it turns out there has already been, like you said, like a dream that is put before in our country in order to, I guess, advance as well, right? Not only for the capital city, but also the new one. Before we go further into the celebrations currently, I'd love to take it a bit back, especially to moments before our proclamation of a Declaration of Independence. What was it like, especially as a historian during that time, do you think was the pivotal moments for us as a country during that time in Jalan Pegangsaan Timur, or before that, that we need to look back and also reflect again at the 79th Independence celebration?
Yeah, actually it was a crucial situations because Japanese troops surrendered, and then the Allied troops had not come yet here. So this is very crucial times to determine Indonesia in the future. So the young generations at that time asked our founding fathers, especially Sukarno and Hatta, to persuade both of them to proclaim our independence, because probably they can imagine when Allied troops came before we proclaim our independence, then we would be given again to the Netherlands. So it is better to to determine the Indonesians in the future right here, 17 August 1945. Because if Sukarno didn't want to proclaim, just waited for Japanese occupations, administrations, it's not. It will be absurd, I think. The situations. It's better to proclaim Indonesia as soon as possible at that time, before the Allied troops came to Jakarta.
Yes, and we have taken the independence up to 79 times at the moment, Audrey. From
79.
79.
Yes.
From 1945 until 2024. Now, Dr. Agus, as Audrey already taking you back to a throwback of days in the later days of Indonesia, I want to know, as we are celebrating the Independence Day, Audrey, as a student yourself of the University of Indonesia, right? What are the differences that you can share us a story from back in the days when you were studying in the University of Indonesia, celebrating the Independence Day back then, up until now? What are the differences, Dr. Agus? If you can share a story of yours.
First, I think time has changed.
Yes.
And more students now close to their gadgets, like you did.
Of course, tablets
Very
everywhere.
much, yes, it's a tech world now.
I think when I was a student at University of Indonesia, we have, more discussions with other students.
Yes.
Now, I think student has to read more books.
Okay.
Because it is very difficult, as you know, that now students read from the gadget.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Not from the books.
Not from the books.
But actually, if you want to study history, it is better to read books, because on the books you will find detailed explanations, not only the short informations from your gadgets.
Yes.
But it's very difficult. Even if you see University of Indonesia students, you have to encourage them to read more books. Especially here.
To really push them to want to read more.
Okay.
And it's not easy, actually. So it's sometimes it's not a slightly difference, but big differences now. Between students. Like, I'm old now. So, sure.
Old with a spirit of youth.
Yes, very young in spirit. Yes.
With a spirit of youth.
Do you find that it was difficult to learn about Indonesian history during that time when you were a student? Because I feel now everything is already, in the internet. With even a child can search up anything, right? But what about before? What was it like trying to discover all these, bits and pieces of history, especially of our own country?
It is better for you at the time to come or visit library. So there are many libraries actually in Jakarta. So historical sources are there. But here actually now, with your gadget, you can find fast historical sources.
Fast historical sources.
Fast historical sources.
Yes.
But the problem is...
the problem is...
the will of readings. That's the problem, I think.
Okay.
Now, as a young generation, so I will ask you, how long can you read a book, or you play your gadget?
Oh my God, Dr. Agus.
When
was the last time I read a book? Thank you so much for enlightening us. When was the last time, Audrey? I remember it was, I think, the 1st of January 2024. I read a book of, not a historical book, but a book of Haruki Murakami, I think, from Japan.
That's a good.
That's good, right?
Wow. And all books are also e-books
now.
Yes, mostly.
Especially history books. Some students consider that you will get bored when you read more text than pictures. Without, for example, diagram or other pictures. Or
and it's quite interesting to see how times have changed.
Time has changed.
Yes, times definitely have changed. Yet the essence of our country, of nationalism, continues to stay until now. And we will discuss more about this with you after this, Dr. Agus. Right now, we have Juan Sakwarela joining us from TVRI Maluku. Hello, good morning, Juan. Can you tell us more about the celebrations there at TVRI Maluku?
Reporting from Ambon, this year Indonesian Independence, this year's Indonesian Independence Day celebration will be held in Lapangan Merdeka Ambon, at exactly 9:30 a.m. Eastern Indonesian time. And acting as chief of the flag hosting ceremony this morning is acting governor of Maluku, Sadali. And hundreds of spectators are expected to gather here this morning to take part in the ceremony. And right behind me is the entrance to the main tribune, where distinguished guests will be greeted. And what's interesting about the decoration today is how it shows vivid resemblance of the underwater world of Maluku. And this is also a response of Maluku provincial government to the declaration of Tuna Year 2024 by the central government, as Maluku is one of the regions with the most tuna production annually in Indonesia, and also a province with the most marine area in the country. And this year's theme for the 79th anniversary of Indonesia's Declaration of Independence is Nusantara Maju, Indonesia Maju. And in 2 days from now, on Monday, August 19, Maluku provincial government will be celebrating the provincial's anniversary as well, with the theme Wonderful Maluku. Early this morning, a national flag parade also took place, where some former flag raisers showcased the duplicate red and white flag and proclamation manuscript along in the main roads in Ambon City before bringing it to the government building. And in today's flag ceremony, there will be 54 members of flag raisers, which are high school students recruited from different islands across Maluku. And many participants and spectators gathered this morning. And according to the flag ceremony organizer, this year's crowd and guest list is less than previous year's celebration, as the local government is also preparing for the regional upcoming election. But being busy doesn't diminish people's enthusiasm this morning to celebrate today's Independence Day. A special group this morning also took part in the ceremony. They were ex-convicts in terrorism cases who served their jail time and are committed to contribute as good citizens for the country. This is definitely a special moment for them, and surely for all of us Indonesians. Live from Ambon, Maluku, I'm Juan Sakorela, and the camera person Muhammad Gifari, reporting for TVRI World. Now back to you guys in Jakarta.
Well, thank you so much, Juan Sakorela, TVRI World reporter from Maluku. There are some important updates, and we look forward to more from you, especially on this day of celebration. Thank you so much, Juan.
Thank you so much, Juan. And Gifari, wonderful Maluku it is. Wonderful murals, beautiful, beautiful Independence Day in Ambon. So from Ambon, we will take you to East Java. Let's see about the 79th Independence Day ceremony in East Java. And Paramita Bermawi will report us about the situation right there. Go ahead, Paramita. Good morning, Paramita. Good morning, Paramita.
Good morning, Paramita.
This is Eda and Audrey, and also Dr. Agus from Jakarta, live in TVRI World. Please report to us, Paramita. Good morning. How's the 79th Independence Day ceremony in East Java has been going on? Go ahead, Paramita.
Okay, well, we'll be back with Paramita after this as they are preparing their report. But those are very interesting facts, Ada. I love that from Maluku, Juan was able to enlighten us on some of the specific things culturally that they are able to bring. I mean, he is standing in front of this, I would say, this installation that showed the diversity, the biodiversity of Indonesia's oceans, and also how this year many people who are of different, I would say, societies also take part in the Indonesian Independence Day. And Dr. Agus, as a historian, what do you find distinguishes Indonesia compared to other countries when they celebrate their own Independence Days? Because you did mention before that we are a country with many islands, yet what I truly admire is our ability to bring together all these people of different, cultures. This cannot be more different, and yet it's
we are Bhinneka Tunggal Ika. We're Indonesia.
Yes, like we appreciate each other's differences and even celebrate them. So, what do you think from a historian's perspective?
Yeah, I think in Indonesia, Independence Day is celebrated more more attractive. Attractive, just like your costumes today.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Thank you, Doctor.
You're representative. You are the representative of our people, in all of Indonesia's part. Yeah.
Yes.
That's from Pekanbaru.
Yes,
I
Pekanbaru.
visited Pekanbaru also.
Okay.
Yeah. When you try to compare with other celebrations, Independence Day celebrations in other countries, I think not like in Indonesia. Here we also not only like formal ceremony in schools, in universities, in government institutions, but also in villages, remote areas celebrate our independence.
Yes.
Yeah, I think this is coming from a great feeling. So, yeah, thanks to God that we become independence country. It's very deep feelings, I think. That's why people try to express their feelings by everything they can.
Yes.
I think for example, in Germany, I didn't see that the presenter, for example, wear traditional costumes like this. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why Indonesia is very special. Independence Day is special. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Across many islands, we can see everybody's climbing up the highest mountain just to hoist the flag.
Yes.
And to the deepest
to
sea.
the deepest sea.
Yeah. The diving club and all. Bring the flag of red and white Indonesia. Yes.
Yes.
So festive.
The sense of pride and unity is very big in our country. And speaking of that, we have the next report from Paramita Bermawi from TVR World East Java. Hello, good morning, Paramita. Can you tell us more about the celebrations in East Java?
Happy Independence Day, Indonesia. Audrey and Narendra, hi, I'm Paramita Bermawi, reporting live from Gahadi State Building in Surabaya. You can see just right behind me, the ceremony just begun. Celebration of Independence Day in Surabaya is partly the same as per last year. This year alone, the government provide around 1,250 seats for East Java citizens to come and join in the 17th celebration. Registration opened just 4 days prior the actual ceremony, and turned out that the people of Surabaya here are eager to take part in the ceremony as well. With the many activities taking place in Surabaya, police engineered traffic into the city by suggesting alternative routes, such as Basuki Rahmatu Gubernur Suryo will be directed towards Embong Malang, as traffic coming from Embong Wungu will be directed towards Embong Trengguli. Traffic rerouting is applied until the lowered flag ceremony finishes in the afternoon. The ceremony today is not only open for invitations only, but also open for public. It's predicted that more locals will come, since the cultural parade will take place just right after the raising flag ceremony ended today. In the 17th celebration of Indonesia's Independence Day, East Java is happy to contribute to the nation's economic growth. As per the first trimester of 2024, East Java is still one of the economic sources in the island by contributing 25.07%, while contributing national's GDP at around 14.46% in the first trimester. Since last year, by the way, East Java has been developing in their economy, not only in East Java, but Surabaya, as the city-state of the region, been updating itself in several sectors. Let's take a look at the Surabaya Kota Lama, for example. Now it turned out into a beautiful historical tourist attractions. A few kilometers away from the old town, the Chinatown is also planned to be renovated, and soon after would be the Arab town as well. Speaking of tourist attractions, Surabaya planned to boost the entertainment industry as well. Just a couple of days ago, Mayor of Surabaya, Eri Cahyadi, has been seen on site at THR or Tunjungan or Taman Hiburan Rakyat, I mean, where it used to be used as cultural arts performances site, where well-known artists used to perform. One of the planning for THR is to upgrade it into a modern arena that hopefully suitable to held an international scale concerts or event in the future. From Surabaya, East Java, Amparabita Brumawi and camera person Rafiq reporting live for TVRI World. Back to you in Jakarta.
Thank you so much, Paramita Bermawi from TVR World East Java. We are definitely excited to hear about those updates and have a great Independence Day and celebration in East Java. Thank you so much, Paramita.
Beautiful and wonderful energy right there. And as you can see in Surabaya also, we're talking about the festive and varieties of costumes that have displayed. See, Audrey, even in Surabaya, they wear your kind of Dayak boutique right there. See?
Yes,
the feather.
Yeah.
Right?
And, in Dayak Iban and, other tribes in Dayak as well. And it's definitely so refreshing. It's so wonderful to see these different ways of appreciating our culture. And back to the conversation, Dr. Agus, one thing that I'm curious about is that are there any specific celebrations that we do now in Indonesia to celebrate our Independence Day that is actually rooted in history as a historian, or have you found something quite interesting? For example, we see people always wearing these national cultural costumes, or even something quite fun, such as a cracker eating competition, like
Lomba 17-an, yes.
Lomba 17-an Agustus,
balap karung and all.
Balap karung, the gunny sack race. That's so ingrained in our blood. Is that actually based in any history?
I'm not sure, but well, usually our people wear costumes for special events.
Okay.
Yeah. So probably they try to adapt with these situations, especially how celebrate our independence.
Yes.
They more appreciates about this day by wearing the costumes, like you did.
Okay.
Yeah. Because in daily activities, they do not wear like they did.
Yeah, in daily activities, we do not wear like this.
Of course.
We wear to a wedding ceremony, every
special,
ceremony, special occasion.
Yeah, special occasions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, since Audrey mentioned about the competition, the Lomba 17-an has been there every year, Dr. Agus. Now, is there is there in the book cited about the history of the Lomba 17-an, the competition of 17-an? When does it start, and what does all the perlombaan meaning? Like panjat pinang and eating crackers, just like Audrey said. What are those symbolizes, actually, Dr. Agus? Based on your...
It's very hard question, actually, because...
What is a hard question?
Where did it come from?
But actually, during the colonial period, they also held like panjat pinang, for example.
Okay.
Wow.
They put cheese, for example, precious things to reach. But nowadays, I think it's more praise. Not only panjat pinang.
Yes.
I think probably in some parts of Indonesia, they do have a different race.
Okay.
As we, probably when you're a child, you take crackers eating.
Crackers eating.
But even now.
Even now.
But in other parts of Indonesia, I have ever seen you try to catch what we call belut.
Oh, okay, an eel.
Like
eel. That's right.
Lomba nangkap belut gitu. Oh, okay.
So probably they have a difference. So if you ask me when it started, probably in different parts of Indonesia they have different time to start to begin this race.
Yes, and as you mentioned, it was started back then in the Dutch colony also, right? When people starting to putting price on the
putting price at the top.
Stick. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, Who would have thought, right?
Who would have thought?
That it has such a deep historical richness to the competition.
Now we see the race from different perspective, of course. During the colonial period and independence times now. Yes.
Okay.
But I think it's better for us now, before we start the race, it's better to make a storytelling. Storytelling about the struggle of our national heroes. So we do not lose the value of the independent state itself.
Yes.
Yes, and instilling that in students and educators during this time is also really important. So, right, the children would know about it.
Actually, now we have more facilities, like documentary films, for example.
Okay.
If you don't want to tell a story, you can put a screen like this, and then you play documentary films. No bar.
No bad. Kids these days can engage more through the nobar and fun activities.
You can invite historians to complete the story on the screen.
Oh tell more about the stories on the screen, right?
That's true.
That's true.
Well, for you yourself, Dr. Agus, what made you interested in particular with Indonesian history?
Yes.
That's quite an intriguing topic to get into.
Yeah, that's a good question, Audrey. I also been keeping that in mind.
Like,
when was the right time? I will ask Dr. Agus. So this is the right time. Thank you so much. That was the right time.
Yes,
Let's go.
thank you.
When was the day, Dr. Agus?
I think we can have many lessons from history. From history, you will find the journey of people, the history of people that did wrong or right things in the past, and how a country can develop to become a big countries. So I think this is also a good time to learn from other countries how, for example, United States to become big countries, industrial countries. How? So from history you can find the answer.
Okay, so it started from the curiosity first.
Curiosity.
How does countries' history difference, and what does they value about the independence, and of course about the reflection about the countries.
Yes. And while speaking about curiosity, Eda, right now I'm curious to see. We have another live report coming in from Gorontalo with Eka Komlasari. Hello, good morning. How is it, Eka? Can you please tell us more about the festivities in Gorontalo?
Thank you, Narendra and Audrey, reporting live from Gorontalo, where the atmosphere here is festive as the 17th Indonesian Independence Day celebration unfolds. And the ceremony is taking place at the governor's official residence, a location that's been meticulously arranged to resemble the State Palace in Jakarta. This has become the traditional venue for the provincial level commemoration of Indonesia's independence Day, and this year is no exception. The ceremony has drawn a large amount of crowd, with many locals and even some foreign nationals eagerly watching the proceedings. The highlight for many is the ceremonial hoisting of the red and white flag by the flag hoisting troops behind us right now, as you can see, a moment that never fails to stir a patriotic feelings. This year's ceremony also was officiated by the acting governor of Gorontalo province, Muhammad Rudy Salahuddin. Under his leadership, Gorontalo has been focusing on reducing extreme poverty, a crucial aspect interpreting the independence itself. There has been a notable reduction in the poverty rate, with a 0.68% decrease in the poor population as of March 2024 compared to the same period last year. However, challenges remains, particularly for a large household struggling to make ends meet. To combat this, the provincial government has launched various empowerment programs targeting those classified as extremely poor. In addition to these poverty reduction efforts, the government is focusing on the lowering the stunting rate. Gorontalo has also achieved significant financial management milestones, and right now we are about to start the flag hoisting ceremony. And then Gorontalo as well having been awarded unqualified opinion title for 12 consecutive years. Right now, the national anthem of Indonesia is playing, and then while the local policies are tailored to meet specific needs of Gorontalo community, the provincial government remains aligned with the national agenda, supporting the central government initiative, including realization of a new Nusantara, Advance Indonesia, the theme for this year Independence Day celebration. And live from Gorontalo, I'm Eka Kamalasari and camera person Jujur Marpaung reporting for TVRI World. Back to you, Narendra and Audrey in Jakarta.
Thank you so much, Eka, for the report about the Independence Day in Gorontalo. It is starting the flag hoisting ceremony right there. In Jakarta, it's still 8 a.m. So back to the studio, we were talking with Dr. Agus, the historian from University of Indonesia. Now, as you mentioned, Dr. Agus, about the day one that you wanted to become a historian, it has come from the curiosity of history itself. Now, what I want to ask you again is, how does you see the Indonesian students nowadays, or Indonesian youth, the scale of curiosity about them to become a historian? Is it still excites them? Because, I mean, like, these days, nowadays, who would have thought and said to their moms and dads, like, Dad, I want to become a historian. Like, how does the scale of excitement Indonesian youth nowadays?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Yeah, I think first, probably their parents also try to direct, you know. Yeah, if you want to become historians, is it a promising jobs later in the future?
Yeah.
And probably also, it's not easy, probably. You have to read more books, many books, and you have to expert to analyze the book, the contents of the books. And yeah, I think probably until now, historian is not a favorite
it is.
Job in the future.
A niche one, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's right. It's, and also if you want to complete, for example, the educations to become historian until a doctoral degree, for example, it takes a long time, 4 years, especially if you want to complete your doctoral degree in American universities, for example. Probably you need 6 years to complete.
6 years?
Wow. Yeah, to complete, as become a PhD. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that, and thank you for the hard work across these times, Dr. Agus.
Yeah, that's why there's not so many historians probably. Yeah, in Indonesia
nowadays.
But actually, it's important because historians will tell you about the history of your nations.
Yeah.
Not many students read books, but in special occasions like this, you need a historian.
Yeah,
to tell about the history of. Can you imagine if there's no historians or fewer historians in the future who can tell us about the history of our struggle? That's why.
We're at lost.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I would imagine we would all be very as confused because we need the to get the facts straight too, right? Yes, in order to deeply appreciate the freedom that we have now. And speaking of that, we also have another live report coming in now from Central Sulawesi. We have TVR World reporter Muhammad Arif Ismail. Hello, good morning. How are you, Arif? Tell us more about the festivities going on in Central Sulawesi.
Well, I can hear your voice very clear, Audrey, from here. And it's been sunny day lately in Palu, Central Sulawesi, after a couple of gloomy days eventually. And well, following up what you've just mentioned, the Police Commissioner Robi Utomo, who leads the Madago Raya Task Force, highlighted the significance of classic road patrol in maintaining security around mountainous regions, which is prone to radical disturbances. And you know, the term classic road, as I just mentioned, is the road utilized by a group of extremists in running their own operations. And the patrol itself is carried out regularly twice a month, with each lasting between 7 to 10 days. Well, the move aims to prevent establishment of new training camps by radical groups and limit the spread of extremist ideologies among communities in remote areas. It is also important to know that the patrol involves well-trained personnel equipped with appropriate resources, with the goal of averting potential security threats and ensuring safety of local residents. Well, such strategy also seeks to bolster cooperation between security forces and also the community. Robi Utomo expects the ongoing patrol helps to maintain security and order in the operational area, allowing community to live in peace and also in harmony. Muhammad Arif Ismail reporting live from Central Sulawesi. Over to you in the studio, Eda and Audrey. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Muhammad Arif Ismail. Thank you for the updates. It's most definitely important to learn about these security protocols, especially for our Independence Day, and wish you a very good day. Wow. I mean, learning about that makes me just opens my eyes to lots of preparations that need to be done for our Independence Day now. And what I would like to ask Dr. Agus is there a specific point in history in which you can state that this is truly where our nationalism as Indonesia comes together? Because I'm sure that the preparations that we have now is nothing like the preparations that they had before, the proclamation of independence, and even still during that time of colonialism. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, I think first people have the same feelings. That's why they, during the Sumpah Pemuda, 1928, the representatives from many parts of Indonesia came to Batavia at that time. To express their same feelings. They confessed that they one United Nation, one nations. One language. I think since that time, and also during the national movement, 1908, more young Indonesian leaders at that time, like Sukarno, Hatta, they wrote, and then they also actively move in political organizations like that. So if we compare with young generations now, they were educated by the situations at that time. Like, for example, Wage Rudolf Supratman, who created our national anthem,
Indonesia Raya.
Indonesia Raya. He was born in 1903.
1903.
And then he created the national anthem our national anthem, Indonesia Raya, when he was 21 years old, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Yeah, in 1924.
Fun fact.
Yeah. Can you imagine Wakil Rudolf Supratman, Soekarno, Hatta, Syahrir, they were very actively struggling for Indonesian independence by using political organizations. So now you compare with the fact. Now, young generations think about what? But the age, of course, different. In the past and now, but just like we discussed. So it is important to understand the value of our struggle of our national hero. The definitions of the Independence Day itself, means not depend to other parties, other country, in all sectors, not only political but also economical sectors, cultural. We have many cultures here in Indonesia. So I think it is better now. We encourage our young generations to more understand about the struggle of our national hero. And also think about the competitions in the future. If you do not want to be colonized by other countries, so you have to be expert in many sectors. You have to become an IT, for example, experts, political experts, economic experts,
sports experts, for example. Right?
That's right.
Like the Olympics just now.
Right.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Agus, for sharing that. Me and Audrey, I guess, agree when you said about the fun fact Wakil Rudolf Supratman have made the national anthem of Indonesia Raya at the age of 21.
Amazing.
We both were like, what we are doing at the age of 21. Okay.
Exactly what I was saying.
And that leads us to that leads me to a follow-up question from Audrey. Can you please share, Dr. Agus, for the next talk session, top 3 events other than the Independence Day of Indonesia that we as youth or as the common people in Indonesia should remember? 3 top events, if you can pick. Okay, we will let you choose. Well, in the meantime, we got a festivities update about the 79th Independence Day ceremony there in Aceh. We got Doni Wijaya, the TVRI World reporter. Doni Wijaya, good morning. Please tell us more about the Independence Day ceremony in Aceh. Go ahead, Doni.
All right, Salam Merdeka. Hello, good morning. Reporting live from Belang Padang Field in Banda Aceh, Aceh Province. On this special day, as we celebrate the 79th Independence Day of Indonesia, the atmosphere here is very solemn as people come together to honor our nation's freedom and sacrifices made by our nation heroes. It's heartwarming sight as citizens young and old come together to show their love for the country. This morning, the celebration starts with proclamation of independence, continued by traditional flag-raising ceremony. The ceremony itself is led by acting governor of Aceh, Bustami Hamzah, attended by several VIP guests such as Commander of Regional Military Command Iskandar Muda, Niko Fahrizal, among the few. This is a very powerful moment and symbolizes our freedom and unity. Every year, Independence Day become more special, especially for Acehnese. The reason is 19 years ago, August 15, 2005, peace agreement between Indonesia government and Aceh Free Movement was reached, signed by both parties in Helsinki, Finland. Back to the ceremony, there will be a number of cultural performances showcasing the richness of our country, from the traditional dances to the choir performance from the local talents. Overall, it's a day filled with pride, unity, and reflection. As we celebrate our independence, let us remember sacrifices of those who came before us and continue working towards a brighter future for our nation. Live from Banda Aceh, I'm Doni Wijaya with camera person Muhammad Ilyas reporting live for TVRI World. Back to you in Jakarta.
Thank you so much, Doni, for that great report from Banda Aceh. And from Jakarta, we get to say Merdeka!
Merdeka!
Merdeka, Doni. Happy Independence Day, and we wish you a very great festivities on this wonderful day. Thank you.
Great energy right there. So back to the studio in Jakarta with Dr. Agus, the historian from University of Indonesia. Back to the top 3 events, Dr. Agus, other than Independence Day that we have come to know. We should know about the events. Can you share some?
From my perspective, Roundtable Conference is also an important event.
Yes.
The series of the struggle of diplomatians struggling for, because, you know, from 1945 until 1949, it was called the revolutions period.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, at that time, we still have to defend our independence because NICA, Netherlands Indies Civil Administrations, tried to take Indonesia over again from Japan, and then they didn't admit our independence. So that's why they called us extremists.
Extremists, okay.
Because they consider that Indonesia should taken again by them. Yeah.
Netherlands.
So from 1945 until 1949, there were some agreements between Indonesia and the Netherlands.
Yes.
Linggajati, for example, Linggajati, and then Renville, Romroyen agreements. Actually, there are failed agreements until Roundtable Conference.
Okay.
It was held in December 27th. It was held also in The Hague and also in Jakarta.
Okay.
At that time, the Netherlands government admit Indonesians' independence. But they, that's why I think Roundtable Conference also an important events in our history.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that is one Roundtable Conference. Other events that you can share?
I think 1955, the first elections, also an important events, I think.
Oh, the first election.
In our history,
Okay.
Because that's the first time we try to implement democratic life in Indonesia. Yeah, it's different with other elections in other countries because since the first elections, all of Indonesians that have a right to vote might vote. Like for example, women. It needs a process in United States, for example, to have a vote.
Yes.
Yeah. In Indonesia, from the first elections, women has the same, equal.
Equal standing as
that's
well.
right.
Wow.
Yeah.
From the first election. Wow. Great.
Yeah.
We can already see those very nationalistic values come up in history. And Dr. Agus, just to sum up this conversation, what is a message that you want to convey on the special 79th Independence Day? You've seen it all from history up till now. What do you hope some of the values that we continue to bring in the future of Indonesia?
First, it is good for, especially for young generations like you, your young generations.
Thank you. Thank you.
To contemplate, the Independence Day. You remember again about the sacrifice of our people in the past. You now live in the very safe countries. It's very different with the situations If you see documentary films,
Yes.
Probably if there is a choice, you will choose live in the times of independence.
In the times of
Not
independence.
in colonial period.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very good commemorations, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for the message, Dr. Agus, and thank you for
you're
sharing your
welcome.
stories and also from the historian perspective.
Yeah.
We love to gain your energy and your knowledge right from the, 1 hour talks only.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you
Agus.
so
You're
much.
welcome. Thank you.
And so we will be back on TVRI World celebrating the Independence Day of Indonesia 79th. So stay tuned right here with us, please.
Well, good morning and welcome back to the celebration of Indonesia's Independence Day. And it's a truly special 79th Independence Day, as there are many festivities that are different this year, and as we spoke about before, how it's celebrated in 2 cities now, the current capital and the new capital, as well as we've talked to Dr. Agus about the importance of history and in contemplating on our freedom and as moments before our independence. And right now, Eda, I believe that we have another special guest in the studio.
Yes, Audrey. It will be a very interesting talk. As you mentioned earlier, we're talking about history of Independence Day in Indonesia with Dr. Agus from the 1 hour earlier. And from 1 hour ahead, we'll be talking about the air aviation performance with Pak Capi Hakim as the Air Force Chief of 2002 until 2005 Aviation Observer. Pak Capi, how are you today?
I'm
Morning,
fine.
Pak Capi.
You
Yes.
look great with your
Chief
jacket
of
on.
Air Force.
Yes.
Long time ago. I got 20 years already retired.
Wow.
Yeah. But hopefully retired, not expired.
Oh, yes. Never, Pak.
Never expired.
Yes.
Thank you for your service, Pak.
Thank you, Pak.
Okay, thanks a lot for the invitation to TVRI.
Of course. Is this your first time here? In the studio?
I forget.
Okay.
I'm sure he's
I
done
got
too many of
dementia.
these.
You got too many
He's done
options
too
of-
many of these interviews. So.
Several times.
Wow, Pak Capi, it's
Yes.
quite an exciting 79th Independence Day. How are you feeling, first of all, on this year's independence?
Okay, it's very interesting. If we're talking about air and space, we're talking about air sovereignty, we're talking about in Indonesia they said kedirgantaraan. Yeah. Compare or refer to our Independence Day, I always concerned about how not many people of Indonesia are concerned about the airspace.
Okay.
Yeah. The things that I would like to say until now, we not yet claim in our constitution that airspace above our territory is our air sovereignty. We not yet claim that.
Up until now?
Yes, the first thing. Okay. Several years ago, some of the professor, doctor, scientists, academician, they would like to appeal to the government how if we can take in our constitution, claim that our sovereignty, our national sovereignty is included in our airspace above our territory.
Okay.
We remember that we have 4 times amendment of our constitution, but it's never received by the committee. So that until now we only have the constitution bumi air, bumi air, udara not yet. Until now. That's the first things that I'm concerned about, how we have to take a look how important the air and space above our territory. if we're talking about how important the airspace of our national territory, we have to look a lot of learn from the history.
Yes.
In 1941, yeah, United States of America have the surprise attack in the Pearl Harbor by the Japanese.
Pearl Harbor.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Pearl Harbor event.
The surprise attack. Surprise attack from the Japanese to Pearl Harbor. In a book of The Future of War by the Meredith and Meredith Friedman, it said this is the origin of American military. This is the American military failure. And they make the surprise attack in Pearl Harbor is impossible, but it's happened.
Oh, okay.
Why? Because at that time, we don't have ability to produce the aircraft can flow from the Japan to Hawaii. Okay. Yeah, the technology,
it wasn't there yet.
Yes, yeah. Not developed yet. Yes. And the second things, United States of America and Japan, they still have the formal relationship in diplomatic. They have the ambassador, the Japan ambassador in Washington, and was a United States ambassador in Tokyo.
Oh, at that time they were mutual friends.
In the simple things, there's no declaration of war. But the surprise attack happened. Yeah. And after 1941, the American military thinkers start thinking about three things. It's the first is air defense identification zone, ADIS, beyond territory, beyond their air territory, ADIS. And the second is the thing about early warning system. And the third thing is they're just thinking about how to make the identification friend or foe. Okay. Because at the time, actually, the radar operator have identified the aircraft from going close to the Pearl Harbor. But the Lieutenant Colonel, the officer in charge said, "Oh no, bro, no, don't worry." Okay. That's the Monday morning, 7 October or 7 September in 1941.
Monday morning.
It's Monday. It's a Monday. Very. Don't worry. Because why Lieutenant Colonel said don't worry? Because at that time, United States of America, United States Defense Force, make the have a lot of ferry aircraft from United States to Pearl Harbor. So they think that the aircraft, the airplanes come from their own country, but surprisingly not. And surprisingly, the aircraft were flown by the aircraft carrier from the Japanese Navy, and it's already stands still close to the Pearl Harbor that they make surprise at 1941. And 60 years after 1941, 2001, you know that 9/11 or 9/11 happened. If the Pearl Harbor, they know the enemy come from outside, surprise attack from outside, from Japan. But in 9/11, the enemy come from inside of the United States of America. Kamikaze pilot who hit the Twin Tower, have the training school, have the pilot school in United States. How dramatic 9/11? Because they got the surprise attack from inside the country. United States of America concerned first priority with international aviation safety. But by the full of concern, focus international aviation safety, and the national aviation security left behind.
Okay.
So that's 911 happened. And what happened after that? After review the surprise attack in 911, the government of America make the 3 steps. The first things
3 steps, okay.
They think about, so how important to make national security in the high level condition. So they developed the Department of Homeland Security.
Department of Homeland
They
Security.
developed also Transportation Security Administration.
Okay.
And the last one, they're restructuring the National Air Traffic Control to become the civil military air traffic flow management system. The 3 steps after 911. So if we have to learn a lot about how important our airspace. Yep. In 1941, after surprise attack from Japan, they very easily to revenge. In 1945, make a bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They attacked Hiroshima and Nagasaki and finish. And the World War finished. Second World War finished. But 60 years after that, 911, they don't know who the enemy, how to make revenge. They need 10 years to kill the
conspirator.
Who's the leader of the terrorists?
Yes.
Osama bin Laden.
Osama bin Laden.
10 years.
10 years.
They need 10 years to kill Osama bin Laden. And they need another 10 years to go to Syria, Afghanistan. And after 20 years, after 911, after 2001, they have to going back from Afghanistan. So there's a joke that from Taliban back to Taliban. After 30 years. This reflection of how the United States of America cannot survive, as good as 1941, as good as the first surprise attack in Pearl Harbor. They lost a lot of defense budget after 911. After 911, again, I would like to say, he developed Department of Homeland Security, they developed the Transportation Security Administration, and the restructuring of air traffic flow management system to combine to integrate civil military air traffic control to have the international aviation security at the very highest level. 911 proof evident that international aviation security is more than international aviation safety. That's some of lesson learned. We have to take a look how important our air sovereignty.
And thank you so much, Pak Cepi, for sharing, because lots of our audience and us probably not be aware of the importance of this priority. And we are interested to learn more, especially how this applies to Indonesia in the bigger picture. And now we have another report coming in from the State Palace of Jakarta. We have our own TVR world reporter, Bram Muda, right there on site. Can you tell us, Bram, how is it going? Tell us everything about the festivities of the 79th Independence Day at the Jakarta State Palace. Okay, well, we'll be right back with Bram right after this, right, Eda, with more updates, especially on the situation at the State Palace. And Pak Cepi, after learning those important historical facts, What do you think Indonesia can apply, especially in this year of 79th Independence Day, in order to further strengthen our international aviation security, as you have been, chief officer of aviation in 2000 and to 2005? What do you think we can continue to improve right now?
Yeah. So after we have taken a look at the history, how important the airspace of national sovereignty, and now we take a look in Indonesia. We talk about independence. Yeah. Indonesia, I can say Indonesia, quote unquote, not independence yet.
Not independence yet, quote unquote.
Yes, quote unquote, not independent, because that's I have to. I already said we not yet claim yet the airspace above our territory as our air sovereignty.
Yes.
If you're talking about air sovereignty always refer to Chicago Convention 1944.
1944.
Chicago Convention 1944 said that air sovereignty is complete and exclusive. Yeah. Chicago Convention 1944 is underlining what the result of Paris Convention 1919. They're talking about that. They're talking about how critical airspace above the nation.
Yes.
Yeah. So they said air sovereignty complete and exclusive. In a book of Professor Pablo, Introduction to Air Law, he said, what background of result of 1919 Paris Convention and Chicago Convention 1944, the background is the military background, national security background. Why? 1919 Paris Convention, it's the reflection of how the country facing the First World War, 1914 until 1918.
Okay.
And 1994 Chicago Convention is reflecting by the Second World War, 1939 until 1945. The two World War make all the country feel not safe if their air sovereignty can used by other nation.
Okay.
That's a very, very basic principle with this understanding how important is our sovereignty.
Yes.
And now in Indonesia, we have three critical points. The first thing we not have yet claimed in our constitution that air and space above our territory is our sovereignty.
Yeah.
The second thing, if we're talking about UNCLOS, UNCLOS, United Nations Convention in the Law of the Sea, 1982, if I'm not mistaken. We are universally recognized as archipelagic state.
Yeah.
Yes.
But there's compensation about that. We have to give the sea lane passage. Okay, you archipelagic state, but you have to give the sea lane passage. That's why we manage the ALKI, Alur Laut Kepulauan Indonesia.
Okay.
ALKI, the first ALKI, the second ALKI, and the third ALKI.
Yeah.
It's to compensate to universally recognize our country as archipelagic state. Okay, we archipelagic state, universally recognized, but we have to give the sea lane passage.
Sea lane passage.
Unfortunately, sea lane passage, in the fast development of technology, the ship who passing the sea lane passage, they can bring the aircraft.
They can bring the aircraft.
So that the things, they have to free to flying the airspace above the ALKI, above the sea lane passage. But the international air law is said the complete and exclusive. There's no airspace you can flow without permission. That means the airspace is air sovereignty is complete and exclusive. Why? Against military background, again national security background, again 1919 Paris Convention, Chicago Convention. So that's very critical.
Yeah.
And now, in the global community, they identified airways above Alki. This until now is still dispute between the International Maritime Organization and International Civil Aviation Organization, International Air Law and International Sea Law or Sea Convention or whatever.
Yeah.
Until now, that's still in dispute. That's critical with us to Indonesia because the airspace above the Alki is many nations feel they free to use it. And some of the nation is not ratified the UNCLOS 19. That's the second critical.
Yes.
The third things, there is airspace in a very critical position in Indonesia, in Malacca Strait. Environment of Malacca Strait.
Yeah.
We delegate the manage to manage the airspace to other nation authority.
Okay.
Yeah, we delegate. That's why I think. That's why I said we are not independent yet.
Yeah.
In the whole of understanding of independence, national independence, because okay, we are in the water, in the land, but in the airspace we have three things: the Constitution, the airways above the sea land passage, and the airspace in the Malacca Strait that we delegate to other nations.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing that, Pak Capi. We will continue about the airspace territory because that is a fun subject to discuss too, Audrey. Yeah, very fascinating. Up until now, we haven't claimed our own airspace territory. How could Indonesia? So
air and space is very important. Air and space is the future of human life.
Oh, yes. That's what we definitely want to get into. Yes, right after this.
There's one right here. We got a State Palace report about the 79th Independence Day ceremony. So go ahead, Bramuda, report to us, please. What's the situation right there, Bramuda? Go ahead.
Good morning, Narendra and Audrey. Happy 79th anniversary of Indonesia's Independence Day. The 79th anniversary not only for the nation, but also for all the people of Indonesia. So for the 79th anniversary of the Republic of Indonesia for this year, it is actually pretty different, as you have known, that the ceremony is held in two different locations. One in the new capital city of Nusantara, and one is here in Istana Merdeka or Merdeka Palace of Jakarta, where I'm here right now. So the flag hoisting ceremony later will be held in Nusantara, attended by the President Joko Widodo and also President-elect Prabowo Subianto. For this event here at Istana Merdeka or Merdeka Palace will be attended by Vice President Ma'ruf Amin and also the Vice President-elect Gibran Rakabuming Raka. Even though the flag hoisting ceremony is held at the new capital city of Nusantara, the enthusiasm of the people coming here is really remarkable, as the people are coming here excited, wearing their best traditional attire or outfits, clothing that resemble where they came from, and also just the rich tapestry of culture here in Indonesia. People were seen taking selfies and having a blast here in Istana Merdeka, even though the heat is pretty scorching here. And from my on-site observation, after arriving at around 6:15 Western Indonesia time, the guests took the opportunity to take selfies and also coming here after 6:30 up until 8:15. And at 8:15, the event starts to begin. So the event began with the performance by Gita Bahana Nusantara, an orchestra, performing around 4 songs, and also a performer, the performance of Vidi Aldiano here in Istana Merdeka. And also, according to the guidelines of the 79th anniversary of the Republic of Indonesia, so the proclamation ceremony later will be held at around 10 a.m. Western Indonesia time. So all the people that come here in Istana Merdeka or the Merdeka Palace of Jakarta can enjoy it by watching it on the Videotron that has been provided here at the Istana Merdeka. There have been 4 Videotrons so far, and it is pretty big, so it is really visible for all the people coming here to enjoy the ceremony held in the new capital city of Nusantara. That would be my report for now. I'm really excited and really looking forward to what is gonna happen here, because there will be a lot of performances here at Istana Merdeka, Jakarta. So back to the studio, Narendra and Audrey, Brauda and Audrey reporting for TVRL. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bramuda, for the great report. We are as excited as you are. We can feel the energy coming from the State Palace, and we look forward to more updates from you, especially from the Independence Day in Jakarta. Thank you so much, Bram. And now back to our conversation, Eda. Before this, we are given lots of historical insights from Pak Cepi. And one of the statements that really intrigued me is what you said, that air and space is actually the future of the human potential of Indonesia. Can you tell us more, elaborate more what you mean by that statement?
Okay. I would like to say something that is relevant to our Independence Day.
Okay.
We are not fully independent yet.
Yes.
Especially in the air.
Especially
in the air. If you remember that there's agreement between Indonesia and Singapore in 2022 that we delegate the authority of the command and control of the airspace above our critical border in Malacca Strait. I don't understand why, but we delegate from 0 level until 37,000 feet. The authority we delegate to Singapore Aviation Authority.
Yes.
So, in the critical border, we delegate our sovereignty, and again, in Constitution, we are not claimed yet, and the airways above the Chilean Passage still in dispute.
Yes.
That's why I can say, underlining again, we are not fully independent yet. This is our challenge, how to make it.
Our chances.
Many people said, no, that's not our sovereignty that we delegate the critical border above the Malacca Strait. There are people who don't understand what kind of sovereignty means, what the sovereignty means. Sovereignty in the air, it means 3 things: control of the air, use of airspace, and law enforcement. Yeah. Immediately after we delegate the authority to manage the airspace in our critical border, in our own territory, we lost our authority to do. Use airspace, control of the air, and law enforcement. That's why many international flights without permission, they can easily going in our territory. Again, I would like to say, sorry to say, that we are not fully independent yet, especially in airspace, in air and space, in the air.
In the air.
Yeah. Not yet.
Not yet.
Hopefully.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Soon.
Maybe in the time to come.
Maybe the time to come.
It's our challenge to how to do that, how to overcome the challenge.
Yes, it is our challenge. So thank you so much, Pak Cepi, for all the knowledge and also the stories that you have shared from the Pearl Harbor era, 41, until up until now, 2024.
Yeah.
Now, it's time for the closing statement, Pak Capi. Anything you want to say on behalf of Air Force of Indonesia to the viewers about the Independence Day? Go ahead, Pak Capi.
The thing that I'm concerned about is how the young generation start to look at how important our airspace, how important our territory, land, water, and air and space. And now, we're facing the new era. We're facing the cyber world. Cyber world now becoming the fifth domain after land, water, air, and space. And the cyber world are the three important thing of the cyber world is autonomous system, using of drone, and artificial intelligence. So we don't have yet to understand how important the airspace, but the new era coming, the cyber worlds. That's our challenge. That's our challenge. That's our young generation have to have concern about air and space. I would like to share all of the people of Indonesia how to make the young generation have the air-mindedness. And now air-mindedness is passed away. Air and space-mindedness. But air and space-mindedness facing the new era, cyber world. That's our challenge. So all young generation, please look at that, because that's our, it's our independence in the full independence perception.
Yes, so I like how you said in the full independent perception.
Not,
so it's very
not fully yet.
Not fully yet.
But hopefully we'll soon. Hopefully we'll soon. Yes, and
that's our challenge. That's our challenge. We have to overcome the challenge.
Yes, and we will in spirit of unity and of our independence.
There's no other choice. If we want our nation standing in the same level with other nations, we have to overcome that challenge. Independence Day. Merdeka.
Indeed. Wow. Well, thank you so much, Pak Capi. It's also a call for us to come together during this time of independence. We truly appreciate your wonderful insights once again,
Thank you very much.
Capi Hakim, Air Force Chief from 2002-2005, as well as an aviation observer. We are truly grateful to have you here on this wonderful Independence Day. Thank you, Pak.
Thank you, Pak.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your service. That will be it, Audrey. Our party of Republic of Indonesia Independence, the Chronicles, this morning. Please stay tuned on TVRI World for more updates. We will be viewing you live, all the parties and ceremonies here in Indonesia, all across Indonesia, up until midnight. So stay tuned.
Yes, it's quite an exciting and long day, so stay put on your seats, because right after this, we have another slew of reports as well as great news to deliver to you. And for now, we can also say Merdeka from all of us. Merdeka. Let's continue this spirit until later on today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Audrey Utoyo.
And I'm Narendra Pawaka. We'll see you on the next episode of Independence Day. Bye.